Hello lads and ladies, what's the crack? I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to be focusing on an in-game movement which is known as the DropShot. This movement is widely used, but I often see people not using it at all in their gameplay or else using it in the wrong way. We've seen over the years certain in-game movements being more powerful, such as the jump shot, but in my opinion, for the current Warzone, I think the DropShot is the most effective. In this video, I'll be giving lots of tips and advice on how to make DropShotting more easier. Soon you'll be so good at DropShotting, you'll literally be taking it on your opponents. Okay, let's not get too confident now. Are you and your teammates tired of dying to people with better movement all the time? Are you and your squad sick of redeploying constantly? Dropping in over and over and over again? Or even worse than all that, being sent to the gulag.
Fight for your chance to redeploy.
Well, follow these tips and practice until you are sore. Soon you'll be a master at DropShotting and even drop shooting at buildings in ladders in no time. Most people will think the DropShot is easy and it's a straightforward in-game movement, but stick around and I will give you some tips on how to make it even more effective, which you can use to get high kill games and DropShot your way to more victories. Also, make sure you don't miss out on the recap later, where I'll be covering 7 top tips for doing DropShots. In this video, I'm going to cover what are in-game movements and why they lead to high kill games, examples of different types, some effective gameplay of DropShots, the settings, the controller buttons I use, and some practice tips. Before we get into it, let's look at the basics of how to do a DropShot. You're going to hit the prone button, which changes your stance. Remember to adjust your aim higher as you hit the prone button too. In-game movements are movements a player can use to gain advantage over their opponent to come out on top. It can be the difference between winning and losing a 50-50 gun battle. In Warzone, most people use the current meta guns, so frequently you will be facing an opponent with a strong chance of killing you, or if you have similar guns to your opponent, it will be the smarter player who uses in-game movements or smart IQ players to win the fight. The goal of these movements is to throw off your opponent's aim assist. Now it takes practice. This guy here is trying to put in time in his muscle memory and he'll do it without even thinking, leaving bodies flying while you keep moving. Eventually you'll be able to master these movements and even combine them into your gameplay. Until you want to do a sniper and get his teammate while he's running away with a jump shot. With lots of practice, eventually you'll be like my brother here, the movement king.
Holy Jesus! What is that? What the fuck is that?
King shit.
So let's cover some different movements. The jump shot was very powerful in past Warzone and is still very strong today. Get your shots in whilst jumping out of their aim or jumping to get cover. Use slide shots for when you're pushing an opponent. This will allow you to stay off their aim while peering and remaining low. The slide shot is great for finishing off down opponents. Next up is the dive shot, which is great for when you're being fired upon and you are diving for cover. Whilst diving, you can aim and fire at your opponent and finish him off. For the drop shot, an opponent will take some milliseconds to aim down at you when you hit the prone button to lie on the ground, meaning they could miss some of their shots. Now what I used to do when I first started playing Warzone, and I see a lot of people make this mistake too, is when they drop shot, they stay in the drop shot position. Often this tactic is not enough, you may miss your shots, or if your opponent has good reactions and good aim, you will be killed. You never want to be completely static. Let's watch back the kill cam here. When your opponent realizes you're lying on the ground, they will adjust their aim and it will be easy for them to get headshots and upper body shots, meaning you will die fast. To counter this, what you need to do is after you drop shot and get some bullets into your opponent, get back up off the ground and finish him. If he notices you on the ground, he may adjust his gun and aim lower to try to shoot your head. But at this stage, hopefully you'll be up off the ground and he'll be aiming at your lower body, which has a longer time to kill rate, whilst you're aiming at his upper body, meaning you have the advantage and will get the knock the majority of the time.
Perfect!
Let's slow this down and take a closer look. So here, I'm in a red sea of mist. He's shooting directly at me and I'm down a plane already. As I begin to drop shot, he misses shots and they go over me. He realizes I drop down, he adjusts his aim and fires low, and I lose another plate. At that stage it's too late for him, I'm already up off the ground, while he's still aiming low, and now I'm aiming straight for his head and upper body, meaning I get the knock. Let's watch back final time so we don't miss anything. Notice how I shifted here to the left also as I'm doing my drop shot and use the door for cover.
Enemy down.
In this one here, he tries to get me on the slide, but I jump over him and then drop shot him. Remember, sometimes one movement isn't enough. You need to combine them. What I did was try to master one movement like the drop shot and then try another one like the jump shot and then start combining. Here I came across this team. This guy has a good gun. Watch how quickly he knocked out 2 plates. If I had been static, I would have died there, but the drop shot saved me. And I get the wipe. Now, time for the recap, and here are my top 7 tips. When drop shotting, don't stay down, get up quick, your opponent's aim will be off, meaning you will take less time. Aim higher as you drop shot, adjust aim to the upper body as it has a higher TTK. Use cover as you drop shot, it will reduce your damage and throw off your opponent's aim assist, giving you some mini seconds to capitalize and take out your opponent. Combine movements together where possible, master one movement at a time, and move on to the next movement. Then try use both these movements together when fighting an opponent. Practice in private lobbies, in Warzone, in multiplayer. Eventually you'll expect it if you try and drop shot into every gunfight. Make use of paddle controllers. I improved very quickly once I got one compared to when I was using a regular controller. I'll be covering the button layouts that I use in this video also. Ensure you pull hard on the fire button before you begin your drop shot. Don't wait until you start to drop down. Often it's the person who gets the bullets off first who comes out on top. Here are my controller settings. I have stick layout as default. Here are my dead zones. 1, 75, 2, 100, 0, 0. For aiming, I use a 6 for both of them and 0.80 for my ADS. My aim response curve is dynamic and I use Black Ops as my aim assist. This is the controller I use. It's an Elite Series 2 by Xbox. It's got 4 options for the paddles at the back, but I only use 2 of them, and I'm going to show you the setup I use to make it most effective for doing drop shots. To configure your paddles, go to the Xbox accessories. Here it allows you to map your controller. I use the B button for my left paddle. Remember, the B button is the change stance button, which will allow you to drop shot. And I use the A button for my right paddle, allowing me to jump shot. And that's it, it's pretty quick and easy. So for practice, drop into a private match. Set yourself 12 bots so you have lots of targets to shoot at. I do this also sometimes to warm up for drop shots before I go into Warzone. Practice getting kills using the drop shot only. Remember to use cover where possible. Remember as you drop shot to always pull up your aim to get upper body shots for a faster time to kill. Try and get a kill streak going using drop shots only. So after you've spent some time practicing getting a lot of drop shots here, what you can do then is, if you're feeling confident, combine some of the movements. So for example, you could do a jump shot and a drop shot. And that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please subscribe and follow for more top plays, funny clips, updates, gun builds, tips, tricks, and all things Warzone.